You know where you are!
This is Appetite for Distortion.
Welcome to the podcast Appetite for Distortion, episode number 409. My name is Brando, and you can correct me right away when I say Yasu.
Yes,
Ioanna, hi, Ioanna, and
Hi.
we got
Bill.
also Bill and Chrysonis.
Connies.
Cronus, damn it! I
Yeah.
can do that being Hebrew. I can get that Cronus, but I'm gonna call you Connie. I can do that because you're
Better.
on Facebook. You're always commenting. And do you remember the episode that? Well, I'm sure you do. That you were on.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. Was that with Brain?
Yeah, Brain has been here for on the show. I think 3 times. I was on the second one. We did that together.
Yeah,
It,
I get it.
it was the one I asked all the Tom Waits questions.
And I think that was also the one where he revealed the origin of the general, right? Was that what you-
Yeah,
They-
exactly.
that it wasn't about Tommy Stinson. It was about eating General Tso's chicken.
Yeah.
One of the nuggets
Exactly.
that you get here in Appetite for Distortion, speaking of chicken, but you guys are here today, both in Greece.
Yeah.
Very cool. So Connie, you're in Athens, correct?
Yes.
And-
Correct.
And Bill and Ioanna, where are you? Where are you from?
Thessaloniki.
Wow, I can't say that. Say that.
Salonika.
Salonika.
Yeah.
That's a vibe.
Feel free to laugh at me. And yeah, I could barely speak English. I'm just a New Yorker, the product of the American school system. I say that joke all the time. But other than Guns N' Roses, I love going around the world, doing these reviews and talking to fans around the world to visit places that hopefully one day I get to. Because I've just seen nothing but Greece just looks beautiful. It just looks beautiful. One of those places that if I ever have the means, I would love to visit. You guys live there.
It would be our pleasure. Come visit us.
And before I get there, my one kind of lame connection to Greece, I guess, and we're going to talk about, of course, the Guns N' Roses in Athens and do a review and your experience there. But one of my best friends is Michael Hagialis. Sure, you can tell that last name. He's Greek.
Yeah.
Families from Greece. We grew up together on Long Island, New York, and Baldwin, whatever. But to speed up, he's the friend that I asked, what is the first Guns N' Roses album I should get? And I was probably this is probably like early 90s because I'm a little younger as far as like when Appetite came out and everything. So he's like, he asks me, what are the songs that you like? And of course, I mentioned mostly Appetite because mostly Appetite's on the radio. So he is the one that got me to buy Appetite for Destruction. So that's my lame Greek connection, but it's the only way I could tell that story on the air. And all these years later, doing a Guns N' Roses podcast set me off on a path. So let's start because this was a great show. This was Slash's birthday.
Yeah, it
And-
was. Day
Yes,
before his birthday,
exactly.
actually.
Yes, and actually, if you see the
Technically.
video, technically, you're right. You're absolutely right. We have proof thanks to Ioanna. I'm saying that again, right? Because I had it.
You can call me Joe for
Joe?
short,
So you
and
want-
easier for you to call me Joe.
all right, it's less than me. I already made a fool of myself. Yeah, let's move on. I appreciate it, Joe. Because you shared a picture. Oh, excuse me. You sent me some pictures and some videos of the experience. And I
Yes.
appreciate when fans do that. So you can either do a review just like this podcast or send one to me and I'll share on social media. I guess we're doing both here, Joe. You sent them wishing Slash a happy birthday. And Axl's talking about, well, it's technically his birthday in 8 minutes. So let's do it a little
Yes,
early.
yes, and I was very, very lucky that I took this video from the very start. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Okay.
It was a random, click to the button.
Yeah, no, it's special when you capture Axl talking. Everyone gets the songs, right? Everyone records the songs, but
Yes.
that man talk. See, no one can take that away from you. All these years, are Axl and Slash ever going to talk again? Like, are mom and dad ever going to get back together? Now you witnessed Axl wishing him a happy birthday on stage, something that just was beyond our imagination just a few short years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Connie, remind me, and Joe and Bill, you can tell me, because the last time GNR was in Greece was during those days where they weren't talking was 2006. They played Athens, right? Connie, were you at that show? Were you guys at that show?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
It was
I
amazing.
wasn't.
Okay.
Actually, that show, I remember that obviously it was not with the guys like Slash and Duff, but Axl's voice was on amazing form. Like it was peaking. I don't know how else to describe it. That day, he was like better than the albums. Was amazing.
Those were good years. A lot of fans, I think, missed out by dismissing that Slash isn't in there, and missed out. And actually, to bring back my Greek friend Mike Hagialis, I asked him to go to my first Guns N' Roses concert as well, which the opportunity didn't present itself until 2002 with Buckethead. He didn't want to go because it's not Guns N' Roses. So I took another friend, and we finally saw Guns N' Roses so many years later for the reunion show at MetLife Stadium. I actually gave that to him as a wedding gift to him and his wife. And
cool.
and actually, it's funny because it was MetLife Stadium, I believe, which I'm going again next month. So I need to get excited. We're here to talk about the show.
What are you seeing?
I'm going to see them. I think the 16th in New Jersey, August 16th.
Oh, Guns are playing.
Guns. Yeah, and I got Metallica next week.
Oh, really?
So I'm excited for both. But we're here.
Yeah,
this is not a Metallica podcast. We can focus about that later. So
yeah,
Joe,
we hate them.
the controversies. You could be a fan of all of it. I've seen some of those. Like I find silly. Like if you like Nirvana, you can't like GNR or vice versa. I've just maybe it's my age. I just never bought into those feuds. But let me ask, because Con, you've been here before. I want to get to Joe because you're a seasoned professional co-host, Connie.
Yeah.
So let's get Joe and Bill in here. Did you guys go together to the show?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you just know that nodding it helps the video portion.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
No, it's okay. It's we're learning here. I'm learning. You're all learning. So, where did you travel from? Because obviously, I have no idea the landscape of Greece, and for me, again, it's going to New Jersey. I drive there, it takes an hour, traffic sucks, whatever, but I don't know anything of Greece. So can you tell us about your travels getting to the show?
We were in London. I had a gig there playing.
Okay.
2 days before Guns N' Roses show in Athens. So we traveled by aeroplane to Athens, stayed overnight, and then we had to travel about an hour from the place that we lived to Oaxaca, which is the stadium that they played.
Have you been to? So you're both from Greece, right? Like, because you were in London just playing a gig. Before I forget, because we're gonna get to Connie's band as well. But Bill, what do you want to give your band a shout out? Because you were playing guitar before, in Frame.
I'm a multi-organist. I play many instruments like guitar and bass and drums, and I'm singing, and also a Hammond and some organs and some synthesizers and bouzouki and violin.
What are we leaving out? The triangle, the didgeridoo. I mean,
Yep. I'm a fan. I've got 2 didgeridoos actually.
Okay. So give me before, so don't let me forget. I'll put in the summary of the show, the link to your band and Connie, because we're gonna be treated to a song from your band after this
I've
interview.
got many bands, and I am a band on my own.
Okay, so whatever you
So-
want to share, if it's like your
Okay,
Instagram.
nice, nice. Do
Okay.
you accept SoundCloud?
Yeah. This podcast is on SoundCloud. All of it. Yeah, I know where to discover music, but that's where we started actually the podcast on SoundCloud. So I know, and I relate to it. If you see usually my videos and pictures of GN'R concerts or any concert really, they're kind of high up. I just don't have. I want to be up front. It's I don't usually beyond my price range, or I'm just too old. It's a combination of two. So you got seats kind of up there, but just tell us about your experience. Did you stop to go merch shopping before? Did you go to the lithograph? Tell me the vibe. What was your experience?
Unfortunately, no, because the heat was
Outrageous.
yes. You couldn't really move. I mean, you were breathing and you were sweating because you were breathing.
Oh,
It was I don't know, 38 degrees, 40
maybe.
degrees. I don't know in Fahrenheit what's the equivalent.
I'm trying to figure that out actually. I see. This is just terrible.
110 or something, I think.
Oh God, I'll take your word for it. Just brutal. I mean, those are brutal. Those are
Yeah, you cannot
days-
talk about this show without talking about the heat. Because actually it went on an hour late. It was supposed to go on at 8, then they said 8:30, then it went out. They went out at 9, and actually Axl made a comment implying that it was not his fault that it was late. The show, like he didn't apologize, but he made a comment. I don't remember exactly what, but he wanted to say that it's not my fault that we went on late. It's the heat.
How late did they go on?
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. Axl actually said that they were concerned about our health,
Safety, yeah.
fans' health. Yeah, that's why they delayed.
Okay, yeah, because and by the way, you were close, Connie. It's 104 degrees
Okay.
Fahrenheit,
104.
which is
Okay.
friggin' hot. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's
it was.
that's very very hot, and that's scary. So, how is it going into an arena there as far as bring your own water bottle? Did they jack up the price? Is it the same thing here in America? Are you able to bring a satchel? Because that's again a safety issue.
Yeah, they allowed water. You could bring as much as you wanted. They
Okay.
sold that inside. Like I went in carrying 3 liters on my backpack.
Smart.
I used all of it, actually.
So actually, Connie, where were you sitting? Because we got the high up with
Yeah, I
with
was in
Joe.
the arena. Actually, I was something like 10 yards from Slash.
Different perspective for sure.
Yeah. I started in the back, but as the show went on, I couldn't help myself. I went up front.
Okay, and let's give a shout out to your brother who you went with,
Yeah. Biddy Pat on
Biddy.
Facebook.
It
Yeah.
always seeing his name now. Again, I don't want to mispronounce things. I always see Beatty, Warren
Yeah.
Beatty, and I was like, I was
Yeah.
gonna make a Axl Warren Beatty joke, and now it's not Beatty, it's Biddy.
Actually, the story behind it is that we're twins, and that's what we called each other when we couldn't pronounce our names properly.
Okay.
So it stuck for everyone.
Oh, I love that, and he's in the band with you too. Everyone's a musician.
Yeah.
Joe, do you
Yeah,
play
yeah.
or you just look cool? Joe, are you in are you playing an instrument as well? Or are you musician?
Me, no, unfortunately, no. When I was a kid, I had some piano lessons for 4 years, but then I stopped, and today it's like I've never learned anything, nothing. But Bill here is trying to, remind me some things.
Bill, let me ask, since you're I mean, I know Connie, you're a musician as well, but let me see your guitar because you had it right there before. You were noodling before we were recording. Are you able to show the guitar in frame, your guitar?
Oh,
Can
the
you show?
frame.
Yeah. Can you show it? Nice. What kind of
I've got
guitar
a
is that?
collection of
What kind?
guitars.
Kind of guitar is that you're holding?
That's an Ibanez S520. It's the first model of Joe Satriani before he moved to the JES once. And it's from the 90s, as I see from the serial number. It's an oldie one. Super Shredder model with 2 active pickups. Very, very, very light weighted and super fast. Because I'm
Awesome.
a metalhead, basically.
And being so, you you seen Slash beforehand? I know it had been a while since GN'R played, but has Slash and his band or Miles played around Athens before?
Never.
Recently?
There was a show, I think, in 2011 with Ozzy and Friends,
Okay.
if I'm right.
Yeah,
which
actually, Slash was here with a Velvet Revolver opening for Black Sabbath in 2005.
Wow, what a show that!
2005, okay.
on
Yeah, that
2005, I was like 9 years old. So
I was
It was too
25,
difficult
so
for
I
me.
got to go. So that was a cool show because that day Black Sabbath were playing, Velvet Revolver, and also Zach's band, Black Label Society.
Okay.
So we got to see all three, Zach, Slash, and Tony Iommi.
Wow, that's some bill. I'm sure. Who did I see with Velvet Revolver in New
But
Jersey?
later,
Well, go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
yeah, and later it was 2012 when Black Sabbath canceled. Were supposed to come back, and they canceled. And Ozzy did his show with as an Ozzy and Friends thing, and he had on stage. It was Gus G, Zach, and Slash, and also Geezer Butler
That's
as guests. So we got to see Slash as a part of the show with Ozzy.
okay. Well, I know that's not GNR, but that's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah. My band was playing the day before on the same festival, and that was really cool. Like I was standing up there, and the next day Slash is there.
I mean, that's a trip. I mean,
My old band.
That's an experience.
Yeah,
I think the biggest band I saw with Velvet Revolver was Hoobastank.
okay.
Hoobastank. I mean, I like them. Corona in the Dark. Sure.
Yeah. It is what it is.
So Connie, did you get a lithograph or was it too hot and were you focused on kind of just getting to the front as close to the stage as
To
possible?
be honest, I didn't like the picture.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Like,
I like
yeah,
it
yeah.
very much.
I like
lithograph
some from
for
the other
Athens.
shows. I like the ones
What?
they had in Romania with the vampires, but I didn't like the ones they had in Athens at all. So I wasn't going to buy that. I'm
Okay.
not going to wear it. So,
Okay.
I'm looking up. It looks kind of cool. It looks like a Roman.
No, it's Goddess Athens with the owl on
With
her
the
shoulder, which is her trademark.
Okay.
The owl is the bird of wisdom.
Owls are. Can I just say that owls are so underrated and underappreciated? If
yeah.
like watch any video of them, they are so cute and adorable. I wish it was
They
kind of
are.
normal to have them as a pet, but let them be free. I won't. Anyway, sorry. It's I had to shed the. It's a beautiful lithograph. So you didn't get that, by the way, Joe. So you weren't able to get that.
No, unfortunately, but I'm thinking of printing it.
Printing it.
In a not exactly as the prototype, but okay, it will be something.
Did you get like a shirt or like because I love merch.
Yes, I took not from the merchandise,
official merch.
not from the official merchandise because they are extremely expensive. I went to a shop in the center of Athens, Monastiraki,
Okay.
and I bought a shirt with the classic cross. Yes, I'm wearing it, but
Oh, I see.
It's-
Cool.
yeah,
Right.
it's the cross. you know,
Sure. Yeah.
the classic
The
cross.
appetite cross.
Yes. And on the back, it's written Athens, the date, Olympian Stadium, Olympic Stadium, yes. And the date.
I like it. How many GNR shirts do you own? Is that one of
This
many?
one, unfortunately.
Just that one? Just that one?
Just that one, yes.
Wow.
I
Oh, that's a big
think When I
deal.
was young, when I was a teenager, I think I had a T-shirt with the Lies album on it, the photo of the album, but I cannot find it anywhere. Probably
Oh.
my mother decided that at some point it has to
Okay.
go, you know.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what mothers do here. That's how she threw away my Kill Your Idols
Yeah,
shirt.
yeah.
that one is a little bit more. I understand your mother throwing that one away, the Kill Your Idols
Yeah.
shirt. That's especially if she's religious.
She's not that religious, but I don't know. I was way too young for her to be wearing that.
Yeah. As a parent now, I mean, I can laugh, but at the same time, I get it. I obviously get it. So yeah, Joe, keep that shirt. Don't let that one get away.
Yes, yes.
So with your new shirt, seeing Guns N' Roses, I guess for the first time then, right?
Of course, for the first time, yes. I
What
thought
w-
I would never see them,
I love it.
but there they were. And I went, of course. I was telling everyone that even if I'm dead, you should take my coffin there and then take me to bury me
Oh, I love
after
that.
the concert. Yes.
That's the passion. And those are the fans that I think of, fans like you, because it's like, yeah, they've been touring, reunited for 7 years, but there are people who have still not seen them, not just on this whole reunion, but ever.
Ever.
And how,
Ever.
so what, was there anything that you were looking forward to most, or just the whole experience? Was there a certain song? Was it just to see Axl and Slash on stage smiling? What were you looking forward to most, or did you just take it all in?
Well, the truth is that 1 hour or half an hour before the concert, then I realized I'm going to see Guns N' Roses. I was very cool before that. I was like, okay, it's the day after tomorrow, and not stressed at all. But when we went there, I realized what it's going to happen, and I was afraid I will start crying, you know. I was asking Bill not to make fun of me if something like that happened.
She was like jumping around happily, like on mushrooms.
But naturally.
Sure.
Yeah, and no, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't want to have great expectations because I didn't want to get disappointed of all these that I
Rumors.
hear, or the rumors, yes, and the articles. I enjoyed it very, very much. I liked that they played some songs that I really, really like, and I didn't expect that they will play them. And
Like what? Like what? Well, what caught you off guard? That you
yeah, the Down on the Farm,
sure.
I love it. Bad Obsession.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if they will play it, and I was very, very surprised they played Anything Goes.
Yeah,
I was
me
like,
too.
what?
That was surprising.
Yes,
They never do that.
yes.
Not even in the old days they played that.
I
But,
think they've never
think-
played.
Yeah. Not even on the Appetite tour. I think they played that.
Yes.
I think it was 88, if I'm remembering right, when they started, because it's only been on this. I don't think it was this show where it debuted on this current tour. They might have played it once before. Forgive me for not remembering.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
I remember just whenever it was played, it was for the first time in over 30 years. And
Also,
that's,
if I remember correctly, on the album, that's also I think Chris Webber has a credit there, which means
Yeah.
that it's from the Hollywood Rose days.
Yep. And Chris Webber, shout out to him. He follows the Appetite page on Facebook and he comments on stuff. I love it. You know, just to have some like an original, you know, not officially Guns N' Roses, but Hollywood Rose guy following my page is pretty.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
my Michelle, she's politely declined interviews, but Michelle Young,
Michelle,
follows my page, so it's this kind of
yeah.
it's kind of fun. But and I want to say a couple things here. For one, I want to read what it says about go back to the lithograph, so I sound educated, which I'm not. The artist Ulrich Planner, the warrior goddess Athena was associated with wisdom and warfare, and is considered the patron of various cities, including Athens. She is commonly depicted in armor or with weapons, alluding to her preparedness for war, and with the owl of Athena representing wisdom nearby. So it's a I like it. I'm with you, Joe. It's a beautiful. So yeah, print that out. Absolutely print that out and get it. And you mentioned something about the headlines, right? Like you don't want to pay attention to some of the negative headlines and experience it for yourself. And we spoke about that like with Glasgow and like on TV and clickbait titles. But this is an honest, you tell me, is the Greek City Times like legitimate like website? Greek City Times, because they wrote Guns N' Roses rocks Athens with unforgettable performance. So I mean it's positive. American hard rock legends Guns N' Roses fearlessly took on the scorching heat wave as they delivered a sensational performance to 50,000 fans. Axl Rose and Slash graced Greece with their presence for the first time since 2006. Well, that's kind of, I don't know about Axl and Slash at the same time. Anyway, creating an electric atmosphere that left their devoted fans in awe. So that's a positive review right there.
More or less, most articles are like that. They praise Guns N' Roses. They say mostly positive things, positive comments.
Yeah, if you really look for it, most do. It's the ones that see. That's what in my field, and I don't consider myself someone said that, you know, press like you. I'm not part of the press. I'm just a Guns N' Roses fan who happens to work in radio, who started a GN'R podcast. Like I don't have an agenda like at all. Like it's laughable. Like it's laughable. My agenda is just enjoy being on Earth because there was a time I didn't want to be. So this has helped all of us talking about GN'R. But yeah, you look at the positive reviews from fans, but I also want honesty within that. I don't look for anything negative anyway. So Connie, let me ask you, you're up front, you're right there. What do you see from Axl, his mood, and somebody who's been right there and also doesn't have an agenda? What do you see from Axl and Slash and the boys and girl up there?
Okay. Of course, we have to mention the heat again. So given the circumstances that everyone was about to explode from the heat, Axl was on a very good mood, a tremendously good mood. Like he was laughing all the time. He was making jokes. He was commenting on everything. And the guys on the band were actually pretty much struggling with the heat because it's hard to play guitar with 110 Fahrenheit degrees. But everyone was in a good mood. The crowd was in a good mood, and that probably boosted their confidence a bit. And generally, it was a great show. Axl's voice was better than average, given that he's 61. Like some songs were better than others. some notes he missed, some were perfect, but those were okay. It was a great day. The atmosphere was great. Like everybody seemed to be having a great time. Everybody enjoyed the show. Everybody enjoyed the set list. They played for 3 hours, even though they left a lot of things out, which is kind of contradictory. But there were things like the Godfather theme that people were expecting to hear. They didn't, and they play every show. But that was because as we said before, the show was an hour late, and they had to stop at 12. So they couldn't even expand it for another 20 minutes, which they usually do. Their shows usually at this point are like 3 hours and 10, 3 hours and 20, something like that. Ours had to be exactly 3 hours. Like it had to stop at 12 because the people then couldn't get the metro to go home, basically. So at the end, they just rushed things a bit. Like I remember basically something like the intro to Double Talking Jive was pretty small compared to other shows or stuff like that. Or they played only one song from Chinese Democracy, which is also kind of rare. They usually play 2 or 3, I think. Generally, it was an amazing show. Like the atmosphere was beyond this world. People were crying next to me. Like it was.
You don't want to cry.
And
like, Joe, you can cry, but when it's that hot, you can't.
I truly
let
believe
go of
that
any liquid. You push it back in.
It takes the tears away.
I truly believe that when Slash played the solo to Sweet Child of Mine, everyone got goosebumps. Every single person in the stadium. Yeah. It was amazing.
That's what I always say. And those fans who
you heard it a million times, but it just happens.
Well, it's because it's true, and it just shows you the power of that song. And yeah, what all of us here are a little bit more nerdy towards GN'R. We know the deep cuts, but when you go to a show and Sweet Child of Mine plays, and it's Slash playing it, it's Axl there, especially with given the history. Just look around for those who haven't been to a show, and I'll do the same thing when I go. Look around when that song comes on, and how everyone just like takes their phones out. That's the moment, other than maybe Welcome to the Jungle. Like, I mean, there are a lot of moments, but just look around.
There were a lot of moments where the whole stadium was like flaring up. Like you could see everyone was responding.
Did you see anything, perhaps, because we talk about the heat? Did you see any people fainting, or anyone close?
No, none of that.
Good. None
of that.
So that's good. And then by the stadium standards, that everybody was okay, because you've heard some nightmare situations. You just look at, I mean, it's a famed one, and nothing is like that. But like Woodstock '99. But I mean, there are situations where concerts and arenas and stadiums are not prepared to take care of fans and weather conditions, extreme weather conditions. So I'm glad none
things
of that
like
happened.
that have happened on other shows, but I didn't hear anything about this one.
Is that a pop? And again, forgive my ignorance. Is that a popular stadium? Do a lot of acts play there a lot?
Yes.
Actually, there's a couple of shows each year. It's not that much. People actually prefer to play other venues for festivals, like the big. It's always the big show in Athens. It's once or twice a year, and everybody goes to see it. It's like a big thing. It's not like they have a show on the Olympic Stadium every week.
What does it look like? Because when I think of Greece,
actually, you've probably seen it. If you watch,
I know I've seen
the Olympics.
Sure.
The ceremony.
I've seen it with pictures online and the Olympics and things like that, and I can talk about it. It looks like a pamphlet for a honeymoon getaway. Beautiful. But when you're there, tell me through your eyes what it's like, because I am envious of those places, those stadiums that are on just, I don't know, beautiful land where, again, I gotta, no disrespect to New Jersey, but I gotta go to Jersey. It's not the beauty of America, So what do you look out? Are you seeing mountains like around surrounding you? What do you see?
basically when you're in Athens, everywhere you look, there's mountains because we're in the middle of.
Sure.
It's kind of like Rome in that way. You have mountains all around. So yeah, but when you are in the stadium, you basically see the stadium. There's nothing like close to in proximity that is higher than the actual stadium.
Okay.
It's part of a very big complex.
Okay.
So, but it was a rebuild for the Olympics, and it has that vibe of being a modern gem for our city.
Well, it's a bucket list thing for me. My wife loves to travel and she wants to take baby brownstone everywhere. So maybe once he gets old enough, we'll bounce around everywhere and I'll do shows.
Some of the
shows on
shows
the
I've
road.
seen.
That would be amazing.
Actually, last year I saw Alice Cooper there.
Okay.
He came with Nina Strauss, and other shows I've seen there include the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which they were in a bad day, and Bon Jovi. I've seen Bon Jovi there.
Okay. Sorry, Bill, did you say something?
Iron Maiden, I think they were.
Yeah, I didn't go to that show. Yeah, I think 2 years ago was Iron Maiden, or last year.
Okay. How Joe and Bill, how did you feel when the show was over? Were you ready to go home? Did you want it to be longer? It's 3 hours. And we heard what Connie said, how it felt like things were left out, and it's still 3 hours. It's great. How did you feel when it was over?
Well, I didn't know if I want to leave because I couldn't, help it anymore because of the heat and the tiredness, everything. Of course, then I was thinking, oh God, I will never see them again.
I hate to say that because
it was a mixed up feeling. I was sad because it was over, but I was very, very glad because I experienced it. And I was very, very tired. I wanted to take a shower immediately, It was very, very mixed feelings.
Okay. And
I forgot to say that the other surprise was that they played Reckless Life. Have they ever played it before?
Yeah, they've added that back in too.
Recently.
It's true.
But it's not always. It's not always.
Yeah,
And
it's not all.
no, it's good. It's good because I'm spoiled because I give myself spoiler alerts. I guess maybe for the podcast. I mean, I'm not one of those people that I don't need to. It's not like a movie for me where don't spoil it for me. I can't hear it. I like seeing the set list. So this way, like as you mentioned, Bad Obsession being added, Pretty Tied Up being added. That gets me more excited to go rather than if I had no idea and assumed it was the same. But yeah, if you're not on it all the time, Reckless Life, it's not like it's, Sweet Child of Mine, or it's not something that is going to be played every single time. And I'm trying to find where the restaurant was in Greece just to know if it was
Let's find out.
Yeah, if it was a nice restaurant. I'm not sure, but that's where Joe Rogan decided to. There was by chance happened to run into Axl Rose, and Axl apparently invited him out to the show, and he's giving glowing reviews. But if you see the selfie that he took with Joe Rogan's beet red face, smiling, a grin from ear to ear, and Axl looks like I don't know. Like, is that just? I saw a comment where Axl only smiles in pictures with women, which I don't blame him for, but he just doesn't look happy to be in the photo with Joe Rogan. Was that in all?
I think it's a remnant from the old days where he hated everyone in the press.
Maybe that's why I'll never interview him. I guess I'm the press as far as he's concerned. But was that in the news there as much as it was all the pop culture stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
Save those newspapers. I think that would be fun.
But I think the news got it from the internet. like the rest of us. It's not like they made the headline and then the internet caught on.
Oh, yes,
Oh, okay. Well,
I
it was,
agree.
yeah, I mean, it was probably Joe Rogan who posted it first on his
Yeah.
Instagram, and everyone taking that.
We've also got a picture of a first page of a Christian, newspaper, who said that the demonic Guns and Rhodes are on the blame for the fires of Rhodes in Greece. So
The island of Rhodes.
he's on
Yeah,
fire.
caught on
It's on
fire the
fire,
next day.
yeah.
Wow, I would like to.
And they blamed Guns N' Roses because they are evil. They are Antichrist.
rock and roll,
They
yeah.
are to blame. They are to blame.
They haven't had Bursum yet. That's why they don't know.
It's just so funny. I mean,
Yep.
I understand that there was the '80s, and then there was devil
Yeah.
imagery,
Some
but
people never got off
But-
the panic
no, it's
of
it's
the
just,
80s.
to look at them now. I mean, I hate to say it, they're dad rock for a lot of people. That's what they are. I'm a dad. I rock out. They're still hardcore as far as their music is timeless, but yeah, no more evil. I think it was Izzy, by the way, that was into the black magic. I don't think it was anybody else. So yeah.
That's one of my disappointments. I waited for Easy.
Well, you keep waiting, buddy.
Oh,
Well,
no,
Easy
you-
actually showed up the last two times, both of them. Like he was, we didn't mention that Guns played in the same stadium in '93,
Okay.
30 years ago. And that was one of the 7 shows that Easy did when Gilby broke his hand. And he later came back for the show in 2006. So the other 2 times the Guns played, Easy was there,
You know, that's a fair
even as a
point.
guest.
It's a fair point, Connie, and that's why you're here. And that's why I love my listeners. They know more than I do. And you know what? That would have been interesting if he came
Yeah.
back in Greece again. That would have been. I mean, now we can't start that rumor because it's over with. But still, that would have been something fun to talk about and be disappointed with, as usually is the case, I guess. Man, I'm still stuck on that statement you said, Joe, about it might be the last time. Because for me, other than what Slash is saying, how they're going to take a break after this time, I know I feel like I would see them again because New York, New Jersey, they'll play somewhere. But wow, out by you guys. What was the last concert? Do you go to concerts often? Is it rare? Like, is it just like, is it always the spectacle of the city when there's a concert in Athens? Like everyone's going?
Oh, when it's the Olympic Stadium, it is. Like
Okay.
everyone knows they're playing. It was 50,000 people. It was, of course, it is.
Love that.
But there are other smaller shows, especially in the summer. There's lots of things happening. But not like this. The Olympic Stadium show is always the big show of the summer.
Well, let's hope it keeps going because let's say this, because as I'm recording this, it's Mick Jagger's birthday. He turns 80.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
80, right?
80. So if
Yeah.
Axl plays until he's 80, I like to think they'll play Greece again. Is that fair to say?
Maybe.
Maybe. I
We'll
don't know if
see.
that's so. It's hopefully it's a lot better and sooner than that. Let me ask something that I love to ask listeners that come on, and that's and Connie, I'll have you think about it. Is favorite song and favorite piece of memorabilia from Guns N' Roses. And sorry, I'll take a sip of water as Bill answers. Do you have a favorite Guns N' Roses song and a favorite piece of GNR memorabilia? And it could be anything. It could be a
Night
shirt, a
Train.
pick, a memory, even. Well, you tell me.
The Night Train.
Night Train.
It's like when I was 10 years old, I was a classical guitarist. So I played like Brouwer and Ochicchornia and such pieces till the day that I've heard The Night Train.
The Night Train. That's
Yeah.
that because it wasn't really played on the radio. I mean, it's played on the radio now for fun, but when I asked my Greek friend Mike, you know, when I told the song because I knew on the radio, and when I got Appetite for the first time, Night Train, since the first listen, I mean, the whole album, yes, from the first listen, but that song, wow, during the days of CDs and I would make CD mixes. It always had Night Train on it. No matter what
Yeah,
else I
it's-
was listening to in high school.
It's the sound of
Right.
rock and roll.
It is the sound of rock and roll.
I remember I was 10, there was no access for me for a vinyl or a CD. So I've got a Bluetooth file from a friend that had this on my first, phone with a Bluetooth connection. So I had it like that, and I was like, what the fuck is this?"
And we get celebrated. I mean, it's fun to talk about. We celebrated, I believe, the 36th anniversary of Appetite just a few days
Yeah,
ago.
exactly.
So, and wherever you are in the world, no matter how old you are, you remember. You remember the first time you hear these songs.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe? Do you have your favorite song? And is your shirt
Well,
your favorite piece of
favorite
memorabilia?
song.
Okay. Yeah.
Favorite song besides the big hits. I think I will say Rocket Queen.
Okay.
And I really like the video from Tokyo, from Rocket Queen.
Yeah.
It's my
Okay.
favorite. Yeah. They are great there. And favorite piece of memorabilia. I think I will say my tattoo. I have the Axl's skull,
Here.
but without the face. But I think I will add it because
like it.
nobody understands what this is. They tell me, "What's that? Is it a dog? Is it a donkey?"
They don't
Oh,
know.
come on.
Oh, as soon as you showed me, before you said it, I knew what it was. I think it looks cool, but if you want to add a face to the lame wads who
I
don't
don't
get
know,
it,
at
sure.
least the chin, to form the face.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I like it. What about you, Connie? And I don't remember if I asked you the first time your favorite song and favorite.
No,
favorite
we were
piece of-
getting into it, but then a brain cold.
Oh wow! See, you remember? You remember? I don't remember. It's over 400 for me. So tell me, man.
So even though Appetite is my favorite record, obviously it's for everyone, but I'd have to go that I have to say that You Could Be Mine always holds a great place in my heart, because actually I must say that it changed my life,
Okay.
because it's the song that was always on when it was new. Like I remember it being new. I was 11 years old when it came out, and it came out before the Illusions records, and it was the first thing I heard, and it changed my life. So I have to go with that.
I like it.
So anyway,
you're thinking
I
about
don't-
that. Look at that. You lost yourself in that moment, and that's great.
Yeah, I
That's what
remember
music
everything
does.
about that
that's-
video.
Beautiful. It transports you back into a time.
Yeah,
so,
it was amazing.
there was a time, huh?
There was a
Uh,
time when I was 11 years old, and that's the only thing I remember from that summer.
Yeah, there you go. So I
Yeah,
mean, I'm
and
sure
then
you
a
have.
couple of months later, Enter Sadman came out. So it was those two.
Okay.
But You Could Be Mine was like nothing I'd ever seen before.
All great picks. All of you, no one's going to argue with all three of your picks. But Connie, what about memorabilia? You have a lot of stuff. Don't
Okay,
you?
I don't have a gray one,
Okay.
but my brother has a jacket that's signed by Steven Adler.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, because
What kind of
we saw,
jacket?
one of those cut-off vests, denim vest.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, and
You could take it. Oh, it
And,
froze. Oh, it
so,
froze. Sorry.
Steven Adler came with his band and played here. Like I think it was maybe close to 20 years ago, 2003, 2004, something like that. And he played a small club, and then later he signed a lot of stuff, and one of it was my brother's jacket, and that was
Oh,
really cool. Yeah,
That's a
we
nice
got to
memory.
shake hands and stuff like that. It was amazing.
Hey, I have brothers. What's his is yours. You can take it, right? Borrow it?
Yeah, but since memorabilia means something that brings you memories, it brings me memories, even
Okay.
though it's not mine.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I appreciate all three of you joining me today, and the utmost respect that you're able to understand me in my fast New York speak and speak English so well. And I struggle with just your names. I think I've said this before in a different broadcasting journey that I've had. I was a PA announcer, public address announcer for youth figure skating. Like little, boys and girls, like 8 years old, that would, little Russian boys and girls, because he was in Brooklyn, that would figure skate. So, things you see on TV, but that's where they would learn. And the parents didn't care that much, but I'm like, I got to get their names right. It's respect to the names and your name. So I would practice for days, so sorry I didn't practice for days.
Struggle as a Cypriot because my native country is Cyprus.
Your native country is what? I'm sorry?
Cyprus.
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 The
Cyprus.
country.
Like Cypress Hill?
Cyprus.
Cyprus.
Like next to Turkey.
Okay. Next to
South of
Turkey.
Turkey.
Turkey, I understand.
South of Turkey, west of
There
Israel.
is a small, island. They had a war,
Okay.
which name is Cyprus.
Let me tell. George Michael was from Cyprus.
See, now I'm going to type in George Michael. And it's going to say where
Cyprus, like CUPRCY.
everyone listening is like, I know I'm going to be, I'm an idiot, it's so bad, but I admit it. Well, it doesn't say that. It says he's from London. So I'm not getting any answer here, but that's fine. We'll practice. We'll have you guys on again. I'll practice my Greek alphabet and we'll do a better
I
version.
can make you struggle with the word for 3 years if you'd like to.
Please do. Because it's, and this is something that
Piskavlo Zambui. Piskavlo Zambui.
Zambui.
Piskavlo Zambui.
Beef cow. I sound like I'm ordering a dish. Beef cow Zambui.
It's like, it means the kid with the very thin legs.
The kid with the very thin legs.
Which are like avlos, if you know the instrument, the ancient flute.
Okay, because I do have thin legs. So I was like, I didn't know you can see that.
So we're like Piskavlo Zambui.
I don't want to say it and make it just sound like I sound dumb enough already. I don't want to feel like I'm accidentally insulting you. I don't like, which you know I'm not. It's you just laugh.
Never mind, I told you.
Never mind is the way.
3 years with the word.
And this is not an excuse, but I never say it, and it just shows you the dream, kids. I legit had a speech impediment when growing up. Like I had to take speech therapy, like as a little kid. It hasn't been that way for a while. But if you notice, even with English, I have trouble with the L's, like when it's in the middle of a word. It's I somehow I'm in radio, but we all have our thing, I guess. So how do you say goodbye in Greek?
Adio.
Adio, just that? Adio?
Adio.
Adio.
We've got many, like καλή συνέχεια. Or isto epanidin.
Oh,
Or
that's ancient.
adio. Yep, yeah, we've got many.
I heard Easter Bunny in there, so you just don't know. I just don't
Now, the
get it.
easiest is adio or yeah.
Θα τα ξαναπούμε.
Yeah.
Τα λέμε. Φιλιά.
Oh,
μιλάμε.
yes. Τα λέμε. See you.
Teleme. Joe, Bill, and Connie, thank you so much for coming on today. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we do another
Brando?
review. So, yeah, go ahead, buddy.
We're gonna have a live show in Los Angeles on November. So are you close there?
Other
Because-
side of the country. I'm in New York.
Okay.
But you remind me, it's before we wrap up. Give me the name of your band.
Which one?
Wait, what's the band that you're playing? I know you have a million bands. You're
Can
like
I
big-
send you some links?
Yes.
Bill Melak. I am
Send me
Bill Melak
So send me
as a
some
solo
links.
artist.
Right on. So if you're listening, if you're watching, it's going to be in the bio. And also Connie is gonna give us a little bit of an audio treat after this interview, after I conclude and do my Chinese democracy sign off. Give me the name of you and your brother's band and what we're gonna hear and where we can find you.
So our band is called Damage Done, and this is our debut single called Feed the Monkey.
Feed the
Feed
Monkey.
the Monkey.
Oh, I love that. See, you had me at monkey, my friend. So stay tuned for that. What's to come next on the podcast? Well, I can tell you because I actually recorded it this morning. It's with LeJean Weatherspoon, excuse me, from Seven Dust. And he was super nice. And after that, we'll see. And we're going to do more reviews as they come overseas, as they come into my neck of the woods. Are we going to see new Guns N' Roses music? So give me a quick yes or no from everybody. Are we going to see, and we could define what new music means, if it's Chinese, from Chinese democracy. Are we going to get a song that we haven't heard before from Guns N' Roses? What do you think, Joe, before the tour is over? Are we going to get a new song from GN'R?
If we will hear a new song from GN'R before
Yeah.
the tour is over,
Right. Like, just like what they did with Absurd and Hard School. Are they going to release something else?
I find it difficult for this to happen, but if it happens, I believe it will happen on the latest of the last concert
Okay.
gig
Okay. All right. So I won't
of this
see it.
tour.
So according to you, even if they do play it or something new, I won't see it because I'm seeing them in a few weeks, according to Joe. Bill, do you think we're going to hear new
Yes.
Guns N' Okay. See, quick to the point, gives us hope. Appreciate it. Thank you.
It would be
And-
it would be really smart if they released something right before the American tour.
I would.
Like especially if ticket sales are down, that would be a boost.
Well, I like your answer too, because that means I would get to see new music.
Yeah.
And I got to see the debut of Hard School when I happened
Oh,
to go
really?
to
That's
I
cool.
never go to Baltimore, but I decided I've said this story before, but I think because I was bummed out that because of COVID, I couldn't go see them in Chicago. So instead of seeing them in just New Jersey, I went to Hershey Park and Baltimore. And Hershey Park was the first one of the tour. And by the time Baltimore, they debuted Hard School and they were playing Absurd. I think it was the second night of Absurd or something like that. Anyway,
Okay. Nice.
we'll talk more reviews. You can go back and listen to those reviews. They're all on our YouTube channel. The conversation continues in between the broadcasts, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, TikTok. Again, a YouTube page for all past interviews and clips. So that does it for this episode of Appetite for Distortion. When will you see the next one? In the words of Axl Rose concerning Chinese democracy, I don't know if soon is the word, but you'll see it.